Hello everyone and welcome to the official SWGT YouTube channel. My name is Sarusa. Today we're going to talk about SWGT Update 4.22.0. The first line on the update today is actually a new feature for SWGT Personal. It's actually called Artifact Details. This feature is actually asked for by somebody on Discord that reached out to me. They said, hey, you guys have the nice Rune detail feature. Wouldn't it be great if we had one for artifacts? So after talking with that person for a while, it sort of made sense. And so we talked through all the specifics, and I actually wired it in. So let's have a look at it. You can get this new feature either via a pinned menu and or the hamburger menu up in the top right-hand corner. I have certain menu items pinned, so this is kind of a hidden little feature. If you pin the menus, it actually puts it up on top. So it's kind of a nice feature. But anyways, let's go to the Artifact Details feature. All right, so now we're here at the Artifact Detail feature. The feature is going to require you to pick a type of artifact. So let's say attack and at least one subproperty. So you can say, let's say crit damage 3. And it's going to sort by default by artifact efficiency percentage, but you can of course change that by the actual subproperty. So you can see what your highest crit damage line is for skill 3. You can have a filter by, of course, the quality, and if you want to focus on your monsters versus things that are sitting in inventory, not use. You can also do RTA builds or your normal builds. So kind of a nice feature. I like the way it has turned out. You can pick up to 3 different artifact lines. That way, if you want to combine different stats that you're looking for. These are so it would have to be crit damage 3 and let's say attack up effect. And that's how these work here too. So nice feature. A big shout out and thank you to the person who asked for this on Discord, so we can add it for everybody else. All right, the next line on the update is actually a feature asked for by Shinzo. He was saying on Discord, hey, it's great that you added the new available monster pool in the past update as well as monsters used, but hey, I want to be able to search for everybody in the guild who has attacks left. So added a new feature. If a battle is in progress and you click on the button up here, search for players with available units, you can pick up to 10 units. So that way, if you want to look for alternates or a specific offense, you can come up here, you can choose the monster, press on search, and it'll show you anybody who has attacks left, plus anybody who actually has this unit and they haven't used it yet. So a really nice feature, and big thank you out to Shinzo for, of course, reaching out on Discord to add this for everybody else. All right, and while we're here on the same page for available monster pool, under the available monster pool, I did actually go ahead and add a search bar. So now you can pick light dark units if you want, which is really nice. You can also search for, let's say, Veljul. So there's Veljul there. So all this is autocomplete and type sensitive. So another nice feature. I just figured it would be nice to add it because it was kind of a pain to have to search for units or start hovering things over, and everything is alphabetized, but anyways, it's a lot easier to have a search bar for all this. The next update line takes us over to the battle log. So under 3MDC, under battle logs, you'll go to the opponents, and the players on the guild sites will have this feature too. But I had somebody reach out on Discord and say, hey, it's nice that I can go through and multiple select all these guilds, but it's really a pain for me to have to go back and scroll through a long list and unselect them. So actually, I added a new button up on top called deselect all. So all you have to do is just do a deselect, and they're gone. You're back to normal. So a nice feature. Again, a nice request from people on Discord. So please, if you guys ever see things like this that are sort of a hassle, or you guys are sort of doing things as an overall workaround, just reach out to me. I am always glad to help, and always glad to see if there's a way to make things better. All right, the next 2 update lines actually take us over to a monster view page. So let's go to account analytics, and let's pick on Nagong from last video. All right, now this page has been completely rearranged. I had some people give me feedback like, hey, nice you added features, but kind of clunky, makes the page long. So spent some time, rearranged everything. I ended up moving the name evolution status, all this information was over here. The added information was right under the image, so that's added now here at the bottom instead. And then I did go through and add the average rune efficiency and the average artifact efficiency. So a nice comment from people on Discord. And again, thank you for giving your feedback. I always try and listen and try and, of course, make things better. All right, the next update line takes us to the rune summary graph. So if we scroll up, go to account analytics, go to runes, toggle off legend and max hero, and I added a new button up here for summary. So again, had somebody on Discord reach out and say, hey, you know, it's nice that you gave the new overall cook detail, so I can go through and physically see my runes. But like my top 400, what does that actually mean? Like, what runes does it have? What's the breakdown? What's the percentage that I can improve? Where can I do better? So we added a new summary button, and the summary button basically takes the top 400 and then itemizes it out by set with the count and the totals of the percentage, and then it shows you the average hero and the average legend efficiency differences. So this is areas where you can, of course, improve. As you can see, I'm doing pretty good for R5, but I needed to get a lot more legendary grinds and gems like, of course, everybody else. So, all right, the next line on the update takes us back to our guild site, where somebody asked for a bulk toggle. So these include and exclude missed offenses. Somebody just asked for a bulk toggle. So if you wanted to, let's say, turn everybody off or turn everybody on, whatever your use case, there's a new button up here on this page. Nice and simple. All right, the next update line is an annoyance of mine, actually. I was in the middle of a siege battle, and I had a water Ivor, and I just couldn't for the life of me remember that her name was Brita. And so actually it's in all the menus that have drop downs for monsters, but specifically I was looking at the battle logs one. So I was actually looking for water Ivor. And so here she is. Her name is Brita at the time. But again, during a siege battle, I don't know. I couldn't remember what it was called. I've had this sometimes on Manon, where it's, water hollyberry cookie, M. Bison when you have cigar, or what's his name? You have Carnal that you see obviously in Siege a lot. So again, it's a nice little quality of life feature to be able to search. I have updated the entire platform. On every dropdown it has a monster type search. So if we actually look under the 3MDC maintenance, 3MDC battle logs, the guild monster search, team builder, and then adding defenses and counters in 3MDC, all of those dropdowns have the new collaboration unit at the end of the regular unit's name. I did take off the element of the unit only because we already have water in the parentheses. And for length. On mobile, it doesn't play very well because some of these get really long, especially for the cookies where you have the pure vanilla cookie. These lines get really long on mobile, and they're not so mobile friendly. So anyways, it's an annoyance of mine. I have fixed it. I like it a lot. I think it's going to help out a lot of people that don't remember or memorize things, and or they can just look at the name in-game and then search for these menus. All right, the next line is some feedback from somebody in Discord. They were thinking that something was wrong with their 3MDC statistics. They're a single guild, and they do their world guild battles and their siege, and they record every log every time. But when they went to win rate for defenses and counters, everything was empty. And behind the scenes, when I had a look at it for them, I had wired it in where you needed to have at least 20 of the same defense and or counter to make sure that you have enough battles to actually make a useful statistic. It wouldn't make any sense for me to just have no filter on there and then you'd fight it once and it wins and it's at the top, right? It doesn't provide anything useful. So instead what I did was on the view button here, I actually added the minimum number of battles. So then the minimum is still 20, the way that it is now, but you can of course change it all the way to 1 or go all the way up to 99. So nice little thing that I added for the person on Discord. So I'm sorry for making this mistake. And the guild that I belong to belongs to a very large community. We have about 13 guilds in our guild site, so we have a ton of data. It's not uncommon for us to have thousands of logs daily being logged into our battle logs. So we have a lot of data, and so I made a judgment call that 20 was the right number, which for us works perfectly fine. Everything's great, but for smaller guilds, it may not make sense. And the last two lines on the update are really just performance tweaks. When loading World Guild Battle List, which is the battles, or 3MDC battle logs, I was just noticing that it was just taking forever. Battle logs was taking, I think, upwards of like 8 or 9 seconds sometimes on larger guild community sites like mine. And World Guild Battles was just taking an extra long amount of time for I don't know. It was a very weird reason why it was taking so long to load. I think it was taking like about 5 seconds. So, anyways, those 2 bugs are fixed. It's a lot faster. It's a lot more responsive. I think both of them load in under 2 or 3 seconds now. So, and that's my goal. I mean, if any of you ever see any features or pages that are taking more than 3 seconds to load, please, of course, let me know on Discord. I'm always happy to get those fixed. My goal is, of course, to keep those page loads as fast as possible. There's obviously a trade-off in between keeping, cost-effective on the Patreon side versus having performance, right? So there's always a good trade-off, but at the same point, it's not good enough to have things, loading for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds or more. So that's crazy. So, and that's it for today. I just wanted to say thank you to all of our Patreon members who have subscribed to SWGT. That helps to support the platform and get all the nice features. And don't forget, as with all YouTube videos, smash those like buttons, and I'll see all of you on the battlefield.